Going live, we're live. Woohoo! Hey there. It is I'm looking at the time. It is not even 7:40 in the morning while I'm doing this. And today I got up at 5 a.m. And here's the thing about 5 a.m. It makes me say, I'm sorry, tell me again why this was a good idea. Every time I do it and I say, the night before, well, 5 a.m., that's not going to be that bad. And it's 5 a.m. And oh my God, it is that bad. So here's what happened. I have a friend who's got some health issues and doesn't really have a chauffeur, a sidekick. So I said, well, then I'm your minion. Let's do this. And the reason I did it, well, that's a friend. And the other is that completely selfishly, if I were in a situation like that, and there have been times when I have been in remarkably awkward, unfun situations, the thing I have been so grateful for is a friend who says, yeah, sure, absolutely. What time? Not a big deal. Hey, it's you. I'd do it anytime. Let's do it. Because it makes you feel valued. It makes you feel respected. It makes you feel worthy. It makes you feel that you are not a charity case. You're just part of their lives when they don't make a big deal about it. Oh, okay. No, it's all right. I'll just move everything around and do this for you. No. Just be absolutely. Sure. What time? 5 a.m. Alrighty then. However, I want to talk today about temporary duty. Now, temporary duty is a military term. What it means is that where you're stationed loans you out to somebody else, to some situation, to some immediate pants on fire juggling scenario, and they don't have anybody over there on the ground. And so they say, here, take him, take her, take them. They're all yours for, as long as it takes. So I was raised as a military kid. And I was just over on Facebook, much to their surprise at this hour. And I was saying, things that everybody takes for granted, like Christmas. Christmas is always at a certain time of year. No. If you're a military kid or diplomatic kid or in a family situation, in a tribal situation in which everything is fluid, Christmas is when you celebrate it. Christmas is when we're together. Birthdays, same thing. Other holidays, the typical ones that we say, oh, well, it's Mother's Day. Yeah, well, not here. It will be, but just not today because thing. And so everything in my life has been flexible. I have a calendar, but I write in it in pencil because no. And I have noticed increasingly, say in the last maybe 5 or 6 years, that a large segment of the population has reached those milestones where they're starting to get cranky, grumpy old men and women and others, and they don't like uncertainty. They don't like reaching in the fridge for the milk and it's not there. There's a jar of pickles instead. That upsets them because they like the certainty that their things will be where they left them. And this is a product of all the stuff I'm talking about these days, the Pivotry project, if you like. We have 3 separate areas of the brain that work sometimes unwittingly and sometimes grudgingly and sometimes knowingly together to make everything happen. The biggest part of the brain is the subconscious. It's way at the back, and it's the oldest part of our brain. And by old, I mean, eons, billions of years. And so its concept of safety and routine and survival is predicated on some pretty primitive stuff. It doesn't know, because it lives in the present tense, it doesn't know that we belong to more than one tribe now. It has no clue that we belong to the book club and the camera club, and that we like to play squash after work over at the gym, and we collect car magazines and we like to trade them at the events. It has no clue. It's still stuck inside the cave. There is the tribe, and if you upset the alpha, you could be jettisoned from the cave where the saber-toothed whatnots are waiting for lunch, and you die. That's its process. That's its cause and effect um, scenario. So everything is based on fear, fear of how quickly will I die and how painfully will I die. So it's all fight or flight or freeze, hide, comply. It is all um, living under the instructions and the power and the control of the leader of the tribe, the alpha. So the last thing we want to do is introduce change. The last thing we want to do is say, "Hey, I think I'll dye my hair green. Hey, let's move to some strange foreign land." Or it doesn't like that because it doesn't know how to cope with that. It doesn't have a data bank of habits that it can perform in a changed environment. So it resists it like everything. It does everything it can to get in the way of change. And this is where our reluctance comes. As we get older, we get more concerned about our safety and our health. And so many of us have reached, as I say, those plateau moments in their lives that we're getting a lot of frightened people. And then we have stuff going on, fueled by frightened people. We have wars and we have yellings and we have violence and we have greedy stuff and vindictive stuff and toxic stuff. It's all fueled by fear. It's all fueled by, that's mine. No, it's not. If I don't take it, somebody will, and then I won't have one. It's that stuff. So with all of that going on in the back, on the back burner of the stove, the little burner at the back, you accidentally leave it on. You keep every time you go in the kitchen, you think, where's the warm thing coming from? What's on? And you see this little light on the stove and you think, turn it on. So if everything were that easy, well, that diet would have worked a long time ago. It isn't that easy because the subconscious is hidden from us and we don't know what it's doing. It's the maintenance person in the building, right? We only notice the maintenance person when the furnace isn't working, when that crack in the sidewalk wasn't repaired. And then we say, why is that not going on? The subconscious is keeping the machinery rolling. Conscious brain has no idea. Prefrontal cortex understands, acts as a mediator. When all these three things come together, it's pretty magical. One of the reasons it's magical is that it doesn't happen very often because it requires coordination. And by the way, these brains are very busy doing all the other stuff. So this is this thing I've been talking about lately in the Pivot Tree book and the Pivot Tree concept, is that communication and the barriers we place between ourselves so we can't communicate is a big deal. And one of the times when it is huge is when we are assigned a temporary duty, like me helping my friend, like my dad heading off to wherever it was for 2 months when he thought he was gone for a week. If we don't have everything else put in place, all the small essentials that we need, it's a constant frantic dance, juggling and trying to get things right. And oh my God, I forgot this. Making lists, forgetting the lists. How we look at what we're doing that isn't fun, or let's say it's not that it's not fun, but it's not familiar to us, and so we feel out of our depth. I once had a fairly slow-witted dog. But at the same time, I still had a waterbed, and I found it was great for my back. And the dog every morning, slow-witted dog, would come to greet me, and he'd be standing by the bed going, and then if I said or did anything, You just erupt in fits of joy and jump on the bed. And then jump on the bed. And then this. Is it me? Hmm. Now, it just said here, your connection is unstable. Hang on while we connect. If I lost you, I'm sorry. It looks like we're back. That's what that was, if there was a thing. So my dog, my slow-witted dog, jumping on my waterbed to greet me in the morning and having a moment of sheer terror, would try it 3 times. And then the third time he'd get fed up in disgust and walk away. And I would try not to laugh because it was like the morning routine. That dog, assuming that if I'm lying on it, it's as stable and calm as the floor he's standing on. And then when he lands on the bed, and it is a waterbed, and it's one of those wavy waterbeds, every preconceived idea he had about what it was going to be like greeting me in the morning is out the window. So he panics, panic. And then his brain says, move. So then he jumps. But that first moment, it's worth the price of admission. I tell you that because that's what our brains do when we don't know what to do. So in acting as minion and chauffeur for my friend, going to these healthcare facilities and seeing people who are basically all different versions of my dog finding themselves on a waterbed when they thought they were going to be on solid ground, is exhausting to see and heart-wrenching to see if they are there alone, if there is nobody with them that they can just hold hands with, if there is nobody they know and love and trust, because they are predictable, because it's familiar. It's exhausting and terrifying because you can only do this for so long, and then serious stress sets in, and serious stress does not help you get well. It not only doesn't help you, but infects other people. And then everybody is not only trying to do their job, they're also trying to manage that situation. So in talking about substitutions, in talking about temporary duty, what I'm saying to all of us, me included, because I have to give myself, it's not a pep talk, it's a run through. It's a run through. It's like a pre-show run through. Okay, this followed by this, followed by this. Last one, we got this. Showtime. I do that every day. Every day. The things I know I need to do in this moment for this event. Every day. Always have. Why? Because when I go through the list, I need this. Usually there's only 4 or 5. Just for this event, this moment. And then when I say, okay, you got this, there's a weight that just kind of goes, poof, and it's gone off my shoulders. It's gone from that place in your chest where your breathing feels tight, where the muscles feel tight. It's gone from that spot just above the shoulder blade. It's my fingers aren't tired from clenching. My smile feels more normal just by doing that list. Okay, this, yeah, this. You got this. It's all it takes. Why? Because this thing I'm going to do is a temporary duty. I signed up and they need me. I'm in. I'll be back as soon as the temporary duty's over. And I honestly feel that if we can give ourselves permission to do this, if we can call on the subconscious brain and coax it into learning new, small, repeatable habits. I mean, after all, you think about this. It's an ancient brain that was with us back in the days in the cave, and it can drive the car for us. It can drive the car for us on long, empty stretches of highway, right? Gas, brake, turn. It can do those things. As soon as something weird happens, like, I don't know, deer or oven, whatever is unexpected, the subconscious brain immediately hands all the controls back to the conscious brain. Here, because the subconscious brain, I got nothing in the data banks. It's all your conscious brain didn't go through the list, didn't go through this. You got this. The conscious brain was planning supper. All of a sudden, geez, if we don't remind ourselves that every day, excuse me, we are going to be called on by the synchronicities in the world around us to step in, to lean in, and to take care of a temporary duty. The thumbnail I posted for this is a clip from the You Can't Do It on Television episode where I'm frying something in a pan. I love that sketch. I love that sketch on so many levels for so many reasons. The reason I love it is that every single day of her life, Mom, Valerie Prevert, assumed that this was temporary. She showed up with no concept that this could go on tomorrow. So every day was a new day. Every day was Groundhog Day. 51st dates. Who are you again? Oh, well, hello, dear. Have you eaten? She was never thinking big picture. She was always just right now. And I love her inability to cook, really, because it's kind of her job. So temporary duties are the moments we take because we can, because we care, because we should. And when they're done, and we say thank you for the opportunity, we get to go back to the other stuff, the regular stuff. After we've interrupted our programming, we get to go back. Temporary duty, no matter how inconvenient, is just that. It's temporary. And usually we get to learn something. We get to store it away in our data banks and think about it later. We get to make new friends. When I was leaving the healthcare facility, I walked out, I walked past the admissions desk, and I stopped and I went back and I said, "Hi, what's your name?" And she said, "Jennifer." And I said, "Jennifer, my name's Abby." "Thank you." And she said, "What did I do?" And I said, "You were here today. Thank you." And oh, well, thank you, Abby. Yeah. Thanks, Abby. You're welcome. And I left. What did that take? Nothing. What did that deliver? Everything. How cool is that? All we have to do is take the time. It's temporary. And then we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming. I want to tell you a little story that's funny, because I love doing funny stories after I've talked about something that's important. When I was a little kid, we used to go to Florida every winter because my dad hated shoveling snow, and he had reached the stage in his career where he could actually take an entire month all at once. And we would drive down to Florida because he wanted to have the car down there, and he was a really good driver, and he loved to drive. So, and he didn't trust the great unwashed public all that much. So every time we stopped at a motel, we brought our stuff in with us. We brought our suitcases in. Not just the little overnight thing. We brought our suitcases in. We locked the door. And every night when we did that, I would unpack. I don't mean I unpacked my overnight bag. I unpacked everything that was mine that was going to Florida for a month. And at first they tried to stop me, but it made me anxious that the stuff was in the suitcase. And I, forever, all through my childhood, they gave up because I would cry and it would be difficult to get me to sleep. And we need to go to sleep, honey, because we need to get up in the morning because we, another day on the road, be in Florida soon. So I was inconsolable. So they let me do it. And it took forever for me to put two and two together about that. So here's the thing. See, I didn't want to be temporary. My dad was in a temporary career. If he wasn't on temporary duty, we were only posted someplace temporarily. And I would come home from school on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and there'd be boxes in the living room, and I'd think, oh, because I was going to star in the school play next month, and apparently not, that kind of thing. And so I, as often as possible, wanted things to be permanent. And I guess my subconscious said, if we unpack everything, it means we're here, safe. So that's what I've always done. And I put all this stuff in a bag, put it in the back seat, drive my friend to the healthcare facility, and go in because I want to spend the day. I want to be there because I wouldn't want to be left alone if I had to do it. So, hey, how easy is it, right? So, but I unpack everything. I look for places I can put everything. And then I realized, okay, not my room. This chair in the waiting area is not my room. It's not where I live. But then I put everything back. And I have to tell myself it's okay. It's okay. We're only here for the day. And then I'm going home. The thing is, I have to go through that list. This. We got this. I have to go through it. Why? To calm my subconscious down. Because my subconscious gets all antsy, fight, flight, freeze, hide, comply. I don't want to live in that space. I want to live in, we got this. I want to live in, can I get you anything? Do you mind if I go and get a coffee? I'll be right back. I mean, that's where I want to live. The reason I want to live there is it's healthy. The reason I want to live there is it puts me in a great mental and emotional state. The reason I want to live there is it allows me, as I'm doing this, for instance, getting up early to do this so that I don't disappoint you because you have come to look forward to these videos, bless you, and they make you smile. They make you think. They make you say, oh, thanks, Abby. And I want that for you because as I do that for you, I'm doing it for me. And I hope you can tell that it's putting me in a great emotional and mental state. It's calming everything down. I'm going to, in a short while, I'm going to get on all the clothes that you put on to go outside and minus everything. And I'm going to go and do my minion job. And I'm going to be grateful. I'm already grateful now that I'm able to manage my day like this. I'm grateful that I was asked. I'm grateful that I matter to my friend. I'm grateful that I have the skills to run interference. I'm grateful for all of that. It gives me an opportunity to get to know that different side of me. And then when I come home and I think about it and I put my feet up and I say, we did good. Alrighty then. Let's see what tomorrow will bring. So this today in our Pivotry conversations, in our YouTube conversations here on YouTube, is transforming not just us, but transforming the way we see tasks we would not have chosen for ourselves. They're temporary. We'll do them brilliantly, and then we'll return to our regular programming. I hope this helps. I hope this makes a difference. I know I'm getting these incredible messages from so many of you. The times are tough. Okay. And one of the reasons is you're trying to unpack and say permanent when it isn't permanent. You don't need to try and control it all. Look after you. Give yourself the credit for being amazing. Seriously, you are. And there are so many people who are grateful for you. You have no idea. I'm one of them. So I'll be back on Thursday at probably this kind of time. And I hope I'll see you. And in between now and then, a couple of things. Tell your friends. We're kind of stuck at 273 subscribers. We need to get that up there. So tell your friends that this is interesting. This is fun. Give them the link so they can come and find me. And after that, if you've liked, if you've commented, I'll get to read it later. Send me a note. You know where I am. I guess the only thing left to say is be good to you. Be good to you. You deserve it. Really. And after that, hug your loved ones. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.